everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about a topic that is kind of been talked about. I've briefly mentioned it before in many other videos, and like I said, it's been talked about. It's out there now, which is there's a movement slash hashtag very similar to Save Daredevil, to release the Snyder Cut and all these other types of things. But this one is about something a little less over the top. I mean, it's still over the top, but a little less over the top, which is the recast of T'Challa. That's been a big movement. There's a whole movement about recast T'Challa. It's, every time I see the Black Panther movie brought up, I see that hashtag. Every time I see anything remotely around that character, you see news on it. You see recast T'Challa. You have people who are debating straight up not watching the movie. Hell, every time I watch the, you guys know I watch the John Campea show. I watch a bunch of YouTube channels. But particularly, I'm only pointing out the John Campea show because, Campea is so vehemently on the recast T'Challa train that he's not even looking forward to the movie at all. Like he's got the movie way down there on his looking forward to. People think that this movie's gonna lose. This movie's not gonna make as much money because they won't recast T'Challa. There are so many things out there, and there's so many people automatic already against this film. My problem with the idea of recast T'Challa is that, and it's not so much with the idea of recasting T'Challa. If Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige and Ryan Coogler and them came out and said, we are going to have to search for a new Black Panther, if they had come out and said that, I would have been fine with that decision too. I was fine with either decision. I remember when the news came out that Chadwick had passed, and clearly wanted to give it time. But after a couple weeks, for me, it became clear to me that I didn't the problem I feel is there's not too much acknowledgement that there's another side to this coin. That for all the people who think that they want T'Challa to be recast because Black Panther is too important, because young black men need to see this black character as a strong black character, which I completely get. There is no real. The problem with it is that there is no good answer to this. No matter what Marvel Studios did, they were gonna piss somebody off. If they had just said that we're recasting T'Challa, there would have been an entire different movement on how they're disrespecting Chadwick Boseman. So, there is no winning. There isn't. There is no winning in this scenario. Either they recast them and piss some other people off, or they choose to do what they're doing and piss people off. Either way, it's a no-win scenario for Marvel Studios. The only thing is, from a PR perspective, from a public relations perspective, not recasting him sends a better signal to the public than recasting him. Because if they had just recasted him, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. Understand, I'm the messenger. I'm just letting you know why they probably, from a PR perspective, from a corporate perspective, why they probably were more inclined to go with the not recasting option was because, from a public relations perspective, if they recast him, to a lot of people, it gives off the vibe that Chadwick Boseman didn't actually mean anything, and that he could easily have been just recasted anyways. And what would happen to that recasted actor. Not only would that recasted actor have had a hard time anyways just because he's stepping into these shoes, but very similar to Edward Norton, and not too dissimilar to Edward Norton and Mark Ruffalo. Most people agree Mark Ruffalo has killed this role and no one wants Edward Norton back in that role. It almost, over time, and this is, I know what people are thinking, but if they brought in another actor and he killed it, over time, you don't think this right now because Chadwick Boseman's death is still kind of fresh. Over time, over the course of 8-10 years of movies with this character, I hate to say this, but people would have forgotten that Chadwick Boseman even played the character. It would have been just this distant thing that had happened, this tragic thing, but nobody's even talking about it and care about it. But in a way, having him pass with the character and having the character be so connected to him will continue the character, will almost make his version of the character live on beyond him. In a way, that's just how I see it. There's the other side to it too. How Chadwick was a private man. How most of his family have come out and said that he would want this character to be recast. And I get that perspective. I get so many of these perspectives. But for me as well, there's a bit of hypocrisy here. For a while now, I've been going on about how people are just retroactively changing history, trying to retroactively change history. I don't want to go on my rant again, but I get so annoyed when I hear fucking Star Wars fans talking about how the prequels are actually good, and how, people were just scared to say that they were good because people said they were bad, when in fact it was the opposite. If you twist your mind back to when The Phantom Menace came out, most people will tell you that they gave this movie good reviews because they didn't want fan backlash, and then over time people came around and being like, this movie sucks. So it's the opposite of what people think. You're just saying that shit because you don't like the new movies. Same thing with like Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. People come out of the woodworks like, oh, those movies are actually good. They weren't good then. They didn't magically get better just because you don't like the new Spider-Man. There's so many people retroactively going back and trying to say that something that's shitty isn't shitty anymore. And for me personally, there's a bit of that with the original Black Panther. Not that the movie is shitty, because the movie was great and it deserved its Oscar nom. But the fact of the matter is, one of the major complaints, or one of the major things that I heard, twist your mind back. Go back and look at the reviews. Go back and look at the reviews for that first Black Panther. Just go back. Tell me you don't remember hearing this complaint or / observation that Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa was the least interesting person in his own movie. I remember that. So many people walked out of that movie saying that Okoye, Shuri, M'Baku, Nakia, all these other characters, Killmonger, were better characters and actually more interesting than Black Panther. I remember that complaint. John Campea had that complaint. I believe Jeremy Jahns had that complaint. There were so many people who had the same complaint that while Chadwick Boseman was good, all of his cast members were better. Were like more interesting and more interesting to watch. So I do find it a bit ironic, on the ironic side, that was a complaint. That was one of the only big complaints about that film. And yet now that the new Black Panther movie, since the passing of Chadwick Boseman, is essentially going to focus on the other characters, the characters that people already said in the first movie, most people said, were more interesting and actually more fun to be with than the main actual character. Now they want the main character back. You see what I mean? You see the hypocrisy there? Do you see it? And like I said, people do that shit all the time. They do it all the time. I was just arguing with somebody about the number count sorry, for the Marvel shows. And why I'm arguing with him is because he's like, oh man, it should be like 10, 12 episodes. And I was just like, so we're going to just forget that the big complaint about the Marvel Netflix shows, the only consistent complaint other than the budget, was that they were too long. And we're going to just forget about that. We're going to just retroactively forget about that because that doesn't fit our complaint. So we're going to forget about anything that contradicts it so that our complaint can go through. No. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And there's some of that working here with this, because every time I heard someone complain, I'm just like, where were you guys? You guys didn't say that shit back when the first film came out. You wanted to spend more time with these people. Half of people said these characters are more interesting than T'Challa. So for me personally, I'm sitting here like, well, did you guys mean that when you said it back when the first film came out? Because you think you'd be more excited. But the bigger issue I have with this, just the heat around the decision and the negativity around the film. Like, there's so much negativity around it. There's already negativity around the film for various amounts of reasons. But the negativity around the film not recasting T'Challa, and the fact that so many people are saying that I gotta watch the movie, that it's so down for so many people. No one has given this film a chance. No one's given this film a chance. No one wants to even wait to see what they do. It's the fucking MCU. It's just Kevin Feige, and you don't even want to wait to see what the fuck he's gonna do. You don't want to wait to see it because you're so pissed off about this that you don't. Who knows what he'll do? But since one decision you disagree with, it's just ruined the entire film and you don't want to see what's going to happen next. So you're not going to show up here and see Namor the Submariner introduced into the MCU. So you're not going to come in here and perhaps maybe even see Doctor Doom introduced into the MCU. Or the multitude of huge things that are supposed to happen in this film. You're not going to watch it. You're not even going to wait for a trailer. You're not going to wait for a teaser trailer. You're not going to wait for a synopsis. You are just rooting this movie out because you can't get that one decision, which is done. They are filming the movie. Sure, they halted production because someone caught COVID, but they have well been in filming this film. You know, they're like halfway done filming this. The movie is still set to come out this year. And the thing is, they're not going to stop. Go back, go on a casting search that could last who knows how long. Marvel likes to take their time with their casting decisions. That could be a month or two period of time them searching. Bring everyone back. Redo all the scenes they did all over again. Just over a hashtag. Just over hashtag recast Challa. They're not going to do that. And I just really wanted to talk about this because it's out there and I really wanted to put my opinion out there. And I've already given my opinion on this. But this whole hashtag recast Challa is picking up steam, and there's so much negativity around the Black Panther movie, and it's always felt to be like, I'm like, geez, can we at least wait? Can we at least wait for the synopsis? Can we at least wait for the poster? Can we at least wait to see what the fuck they do? We have no idea. It's not like they came out and said, we're not going to recast Challa, and this is what we're going to do. We don't know. Hopefully, they do the right thing and make Lupita Nyong'o, Nakia's Black Panther, which, by the way, is something in its own, which would make her the first black actress to lead a Marvel film, which would be a big deal too. Which will be something that will be kind of lost under the radar, but that could be a very big deal. By the way, they've already given certain actors pay raises for bigger screen time. So like, what are they gonna do? Ask them for the money back so that they can bring some? No, it's done. That's pretty much one of the big problems is it's done, and this whole hashtag is stupid. It's not stupid. I'll take that back. It's not stupid. It's not stupid. I understand their passion, but it's done. They're well into filming this movie. They are not gonna just stop, go on a month or two, search for an actor to bring in, go back and redo all the sequences that they've already done. They're already in it. They've committed to this. They're gonna see it through. Now, if it turns out terrible, I'll be the first to come on here and tell you they made a mistake. But I just want people to give the damn movie a chance. Give it a chance before you start judging whether or not they should or should not have recast. That's all I'm asking for. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.